Hello, I'm making a video. I just got up thinking about what I wanted to say, and I don't want to lose my train of thought now. That's why I want to capture this in the video even before I take a shower. So, and I need to do belly dancing also before I take a shower. That's very important. And get grounded in the greenhouse. It's raining real hard outside, and it was storming really severely all night long. And I could hear the trees whipping in the wind, and I was praying to the blue God to protect all the living beings, to protect all the animals, the birds and the squirrels. They must be afraid when it's that windy. So that's real scary for them. So I woke up thinking about all of these things, that the emotions that come up, thinking about the associations that I make with certain things, and my feelings that I have when I watch certain movies, and why I get triggered by certain movies in a specific way. Horror movies, for example, can cause me a psychotic state. That's why I cannot watch those anymore. My heart chakra is wide open. My energetic field is wide open. Has always been like this my entire life. And when I was a child, I was ashamed of my eyes. I was ashamed of having vulnerable eyes. So whenever I saw photos of myself with these big brown Bambi eyes, I felt ashamed. And my mother has caused me that shame. My mother has beaten me into the ground to the point where I was ashamed of being a girl. She made me ashamed of having a vagina and of having my period and of my boobs growing very fast and rapidly. When I got 13, before that also, and my mother made me feel ashamed about this, and it must have been hell for my mother. And so when I had my psychotic boyfriend later on, Norbert, I realized that if I have a daughter, what if I am unconscious, and what if I hurt her the way my mother hurt me? So that thought was so alarming for me that I thought there's absolutely no way that I would ever want to have a child with this kind of fear, that I could possibly create another living being who would be suffering like I did. Why would anyone do something like this, right? Why would anyone has a good heart do something like this? Create another suffering existence. So I went through all kinds of stages, with antinatalism, but I've come out the other end. I'm not an antinatalist anymore. This is very strange. Very strange. I've gone through an evolution. Not because of what any particular person has said to me, not because anyone has influenced me in any direction. not even the antinatalists have influenced me. I met those when I was in that mind state, and I resonated with it, and I felt like, oh, I got a community here. And then they would say, you might just be an antinatalist. You will fit in. And I thought, no, no, definitely not if this is approached in a cultish way like that. Then I'm definitely not part of it. But then, like a couple of years later, I thought, well, yes, I am. I am an antinatalist. Okay. And then it took another couple of years for me to grow out of it. And you grow out of that when you go into the inwardness meditation process. Okay. You cannot stay in a mind state of whatever it may be, atheism, antinatalism, ephilism, existentialism, nihilism. You cannot stay in any of those states if you go into the inwardness meditation process, okay? Because those states are rebellious states. They have their validity, they have their points, they have their truths, they have their statements, they have their message, they have their service, they serve a purpose for emotions, for a particular emotional developmental stage. But it is just an emotional developmental stage. It is not an end state, obviously, and it is not the ultimate truth state either. So the ultimate truth state is to be one with the infinite cosmos, people call it. They give it the vulgar name God, alright? So that's why I stay away from that word, that single God word, because that's coming from the Abrahamic religions, the monotheism, the Father projection onto what they call God. So there are many Greek gods. Okay, there are over 5,000 gods on the internet alone, and maybe 10,000 gods in the world. Different gods, volcanoes are gods, mythological figures, and so on and on and on and on and on. Some are female, some are male, some are neutral, some are animals. But obviously infinity is multiple and one unit all at once. So it is plural and singular at once. There is no such thing as a determination of this is one father or something. That's a projection from your father. There are men that had a tactile hallucination of being slapped by their God. Where does that come from? That's a projection from their father. They have been beaten. They have been slapped by their fathers. Okay, so they project that onto their Christian God, and then they have that tactile hallucination. And then it confirms, in quotation marks, oh yeah, that was the hand of my God. They don't even say my God. They'll be too honest. They'll say God, that overlord for all of you, whether you're Hindu or they'll force that Christian God on the whole world, or the Muslims force their God onto the whole world and say that is the truth, because that is their momentary subjective perception. Okay, so they'll force that on. They'll say it must be so for you too, and there are cultures that have many deities. So, what is the ultimate truth then? I accept people's differences and cultures and beliefs and so on, as long as they are not violent. When they become violent, they step over the line. Okay, and that's where I say no. I'm not on board with it, and I will not accept it. I will not tolerate it. I will stand up against it. I will do activism against it. Okay, it doesn't matter whether it's a culture or religion. That has nothing to do with any of that. Okay, if it's violent, it cannot be tolerated. It's as simple as that. Whatever ideology it is, if it's violent, it's unacceptable. Okay, so, but if it's peaceful, if it doesn't encroach into someone else's life, then yeah, do whatever you want to do. But if you are hurting other living beings, even within your own realm of your own culture, I will say something, because all living beings are my children, and energetically, So I'm not going to let anyone hurt their child. I'm not going to let anyone hurt their animal child or human child, or the environment or the earth or life. I will do also my best to prevent people from hurting their own bodies. Okay, but that is of course that's their own decision. If they want to pour toxic substances into their throats, that's their own decisions. It makes the world bad. It doesn't add to making the world a better place. It doesn't help their children. So I will say something, but I'm not going to force anyone. I'm not gonna incarcerate someone. I mean, if I had the leverage, I wouldn't incarcerate someone for pouring alcohol down their throats. So, but I would offer educational programs. I would offer therapy centers for people like this that can come there. People who are still somewhat functional, somewhat have their lives under control, and their way of thinking and interacting with others, if they're interacting peacefully. Okay. For that we have the open therapy center for people to go to. Then we have 3 other therapy centers, and the other ones are closed. So one for criminals, cluster B, one for schizoid homeless people, and so on, cluster A, and one for drug addicts. And of course these all leap into each other, and it's you can't make this crystal clear distinction between them. Of course, it merges and all of this. I just want to create these 4 therapy centers so that we have just a broad distinction and categorization to make things more organized. It's an attempt to organize the situation that we have, with all of these people that are, I don't even know where to start with this. There's so much to talk to you about. There's so much to talk about in terms of healing and therapy. I'm trying to just figure all of this out for the video now, how to lay this out in the most understandable way. Maybe the camera system works a little bit better now. It's somehow recovered. This is very strange. So let's see how far this video goes. Maybe I can stretch it to half an hour and see if it still is getting recalled back by the camera system. Sometimes it just gets, it vanishes. I don't know why. So, but yeah, let's see. But so I will, I am in the middle of all of this. I feel all of these emotions. I feel the emotions for others. Some people say, Nicola or Nikki, I will drink for you tonight. It's some kind of temper tantrum, right? Like, you, Karen, you telling me what to do, you telling me to quit drinking, so I'll drink for you tonight. Okay, that's your body, That's not my body. You're not pouring it into my body, you're pouring it into your body. So I'm just trying to help you, okay? I'm just trying to let you know that what you're doing is very unhealthy. It's very, very detrimental for your life, okay? For your wellness, for your healing process. And Arjanov also said it. He said, if you are intoxicated with something, with some substance or alcohol, the primal healing process, as he called it, would not be working very well. It would be, at best, just remind someone that there's a process over there, but not here. Okay, so the next time they'll have to go over there mentally and be in that, and not be where they are at when they're drunk. So because when they're drunk, they're not in that primal zone, as Arjanov calls it. I call it the inwardness meditation process. I call what he calls primal zone, I call the ego dissolution funnel, because I think that describes it better. Because when we're in that ego dissolution funnel, there's this vortex of radical honesty with ourselves. In that moment, we need all of our brain capacity to process that. It's almost like brain surgery, but in a good way. It's an energetic brain surgery. Okay, so you can't do that properly if your brain is intoxicated with something, if it's not functioning the way it should. It has to be completely sober. It has to be well fed. It has to be nourished in order to function properly, so that we can go through that ego dissolution funnel. We can face our, what they call, inner demons. It's not demons, it's our childhood, okay? The childhood trauma, okay? Face it fully. And the way we do it is we take triggers from the present moment. So you welcome the triggers. You don't run away from it. You can just use the one example is show yourself to the woman you like. Yeah. So you pick a woman. It could be anyone, okay? And you go up to her. I know it takes a lot of guts, It takes guts to go up to her also without the man cave looking, So, but the man cave looking and seeing you, they go, ha ha ha, you simp, you fat chaser, they go. I've seen it already in the chat room. I mean, it's so sad to see that. But secretly, the ones who accuse others of being fat chasers, guess what they're doing on the internet? I don't even need to mention it. You already know, okay? So, It's so obvious, all of that. It's so transparent to me. So, yes, I see all of you. I see it all. You can't hide yourself from me. That's not gonna, that will never work. See the whole picture of it. And I see who is more advanced than the other. I see who is, and I'm not judging, I'm just saying one person is more advanced in this way. One person is less afraid. One person is less timid than the other. Okay. The ones that are less timid, they will go up to a woman. They will even say, "I'm in love with you." Now, hats off for that, So, really seriously, I bow down to you, if you have the guts to go up to a woman and say her name, not just make it into some kind of music lyrics. No. You go up to her, you say her name, whoever that is, okay? And you say, "I'm in love with you." And then everyone in the chat room is gonna laugh, and some of them are getting mad at that person. And they'll retaliate, and they'll try to bully him. And they try to make him look bad to the other women, make him look bad to the woman he likes. Yeah, that's what's happening all the time. I think they call that triangulation. So, bashing people. Why do they get mad? Because maybe they wanted that woman, but they didn't have enough guts to do what he did. So they have to come in through the bully door. They have to approach her by bullying her. Okay, that's what most of them do. And they are very fragile psychologically, the ones that bully women, as an attempt to communicate. Some bully women in such a bad way they make us cry, okay? I'm not the only one who's crying. I'm not going to mention names, but I have a good friend. I have two good friends, two good women friends, who shared that with me as well. So, yes, we talk about all of that stuff. You better believe it. We have our girl cave, okay? And yes, sometimes we laugh, We laugh about the penis exhibition expo on Facebook. Yes, we laugh about that, If they do that kind of stuff, then they have to expect that women will laugh about that and find that stupid. So that's why I said before, don't show your nudes. Don't do it. So, and don't bully a woman. You go up to a woman you like, and you say it the way you feel it. Okay, that's a real big plus in the right direction. And there's so much disconnect in the world. It's unbelievable. So many men, they feel like the woman is this, and Sam Vaknin talks about this. His videos are very, very important, and they really, really, really explain it from a very medical point of view. I go more into the depths with that. I dive more into the depths of the occult also, which I think Sam Vaknin is opposed to. But that's out of fear. That's, I talked about this myself, about my own life, so in another video from the other day where I described how I was also hiding behind atheism for many years. So, but I always knew in the back of my head that I was kidding myself. I always knew there are infinite dimensions and worlds out there of the occult, of the unknown. Occult means unknown, means something that's in the dark, but only inaccessible to our consciousness at the moment. It could be opened up. It could reveal itself to our consciousness. But that's for another video that I want to make outside in the garden with my tablet when the sun is out, when it gets warmer. So I have to talk about this for over an hour because that's a subject: hallucinogenics, teacher plants, and consciousness. So that's a huge subject. I just wanted to talk about right now about our emotions, our interactions, and the utmost vital importance of radical honesty to ourselves and to others. Okay, it takes guts, I understand, and that's why I don't judge the ones that are psychologically very fragile, that are very afraid and shy and timid. And shy is an understatement. There is a person underneath that is shaking in fear. Okay, and I don't judge them. Okay, I feel for them. I give them my hugs. Okay, hugs. You can cry on my shoulder anytime. But the thing is that I am the very person that they demonize. So I am the very person that they are shaking about. So the demon, the devil, which I'm accused of all of these kind of things because I look into them, and that's scary. They don't want that. They think I must have supernatural powers to look into their minds. It doesn't require supernatural powers to look into people's minds, okay? When you studied psychology your entire life, in school and private, okay, you make observations, you're highly intuitive, you're sensitive, your heart chakra is wide open. All of my chakras are now wide open, okay? It's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. So I am amazed what crying things out, what that will unleash in us. It unleashes the divine feminine goddess, and it unleashes in you the divine masculine god. Okay, I promise that to you. We're all infinite light beings. We're energetic bundles, and as Sam Vaknin said, they have not understood a thing yet about the human brain in particular. But then some people think the human brain is superior. No. Maybe in doing mathematics, but I'm sure that there are whales that could do mathematics as well. If we can figure out a bridge language and we can get them into it, they will get into it. I guarantee that to you. There are whales in the ocean that have a much more complicated, complex, and bigger brain, with way more geary and sulky, okay, with way more spindle cells for cognitive and abstract processing, okay. This is a fact. This fact is standing in the way of a lot of scientists, male scientists' egos. Women are usually not tending to be speciesist to that extreme as men do. So their own egos are standing in the way of science then. Okay. But I see all of this. All beings have an innate emotional intelligence, a physical body intelligence that's out of this world. It's like, people can't even imagine how we can align ourselves energetically with the infinite cosmos, with all living beings, with the blue God. How we can align ourselves with truth. And that's empowerment. That's the inwardness meditation process. That's also allowing ourselves to go into the ego dissolution funnel. Because when we're wide open, if we get triggered in the present, we don't run away from that trigger anymore. We don't drown it out with a horror movie. I cannot watch a horror movie anymore. I become, it will break me down. It has happened in 2012. Okay, but that's a long story. Also, like, it was one whole year of seeing the worst cruelty cases I have ever seen, okay, as an activist. So petitions from other people that I have been signing and letters I have been writing to legislators for the animals. So all of this they're starting to round up wild horses in Reno and the Nevada desert. Okay, and the fear that they cause these wild horses, the fear in their eyes, it threw me over the edge, and the horse is me, I am the horse. Okay, there's no distinction energetically. Okay? We're all in this together, all beings. Most humans are disconnected from themselves, thus they are disconnected from others. Thus they hurt their animals and their children. Okay? And that's how it goes. If I allow my body, if I love my body, no matter how much my mother has tried to shame me for my body, if I allow it, if I go into it, if I heal this, of course I feel the other women, animals, horses. Been trying to understand men. That was very difficult. I'm starting to understand them more and more now. And that's wonderful. So I wonder why I'm coughing now. This is all psychosomatic. I know it is. So, but I'm starting to understand them now because I observe, and I'm starting to understand that they are shaking on the inside, okay, out of fear, and that's why they drink the alcohol. So I want to help. I want to help all of you. If I can create a therapy help center, I want to help all of you. And the most important thing is that I show my own inwardness meditation process to the world. Okay, so you guys take care.